Hi, I'm Vincent Lambe, and today I'm here with the director of The Lone Wolf, which is one of the live-action short films in consideration for the Academy Awards this year. Felipe Melo, great to meet you. I really loved this film. I watched it last night. I thought it was a really powerful film. It really grabs you, holds your attention. Great to meet with you.
Great to talk to you also, Vincent.
So tell us what the Lone Wolf is about, Felipe.
Oh, well, okay. It's a story that takes place in one single location, has one actor, at least on screen, and it's a one shot. So this was all based on an idea to shoot a film with an iPhone if I had to, you know. I just love writing, and I was looking for an idea that allowed me to just go out and film and really work with an actor, with
Right.
actors, which is something
So
that doesn't happen frequently here. You
yeah,
just
no,
go.
it's a real achievement, like what you've done, and technically as well, But story wise, how would you sum up this film, like what it's about?
Well, oh, it's about actually a few different things. It's I think it's connected to the love I have for live radio also because I work as a musician, so I travel a lot around Portugal.
Mm,
Usually we come back to my hometown Lisbon at very late hours, so I listen to a lot of late night radio shows. And there's one particular radio here that I hear a lot, and the late night callers are always fascinating. You know, it's a small community. They all know each other. They know the host. The host has some sort of weird, almost father-like or cult-like figure to a lot of the listeners, and so that inspired me to think of a story that maybe could use this environment and create a very antagonic relationship between two characters, and having one of them on screen constantly and have the camera around him like a shark and really cornering him and just
yeah,
making him go through a tough time.
I mean the cinematography is remarkable, really. I mean how it's all done in one take, and it's incredibly well choreographed. I thought, there's moments of tension where the camera will stop and stay still, and then it'll move. So I could see that you really thought about that a lot. I mean, where the camera was going to be at what point. So do you want about that and how you kind of choreographed that one take to work like that? Did it take a lot of trial and error?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I must say this that I actually am not a big fan of one shots because a lot of times they have to do with ego, either from the director or, you
Mm,
know, like usually when somebody does a one take, it better be for a good reason, you know. So I thought a lot about this. Should I do it? Because I didn't want it to be about the technical side. I've seen many films in which that happens, and usually it's a turnoff. But I also have seen some incredible ones that really contribute to the narrative. So in this case, it was a narrative option because I really discovered that I never wanted to leave him, and indeed I tried to move the camera away from him to certain objects or even to the other character that's facing him, the radio producer, and it didn't work because you really need to be on him all the time. I just it felt very natural, but we shot
yeah.
in a very cold place in a very cold month, and during the COVID pandemic, so it was like the most insane time to shoot, and we had to build a small set inside the set because in order to move around him, we had to move the walls. So there's
Ah,
four
right.
guys pulling the walls back and forth.
Oh, really?
So I even admire the actor more because he has
Hmm.
to give his performance with, okay, go, go, go. And people,
Yeah.
and also I thought we need to go in the booth and stay there. And in order to go in the booth, I wanted to go through a glass. So I have this special effects guy saying, how are we going to do this? Okay, we need to move the wall on the take. So there's people moving the wall with the glass. It's all insane circus stuff going on. And also the camera goes behind them and we have a webcam on the computer.
Yes, right. And then we're seeing him live. Yeah, it's no, it's brilliantly executed. I thought like how you. There's always something interesting in the frame. You're moving constantly, but it's always a beautiful picture. Like there's the cinematography, the tones, the colors, the lighting it's really nice. Yeah, I mean, so is that something you put a lot of thought into as well? I mean, the what we're seeing, the mood of the room and everything.
I think absolutely. It was just from the beginning. I wanted it to look nice, but the place itself had a lot of personality. But that's
So
it. A lot of evenings with my phone, going to rehearse and
right.
just figuring
So
out what to do.
obviously a lot. I mean, a huge. This film kind of relies on the lead actor, and it's Adriano Luz who plays
Hmm.
the role. It's a beautiful performance by him. I thought it amazing, and all the more powerful, but that it's all delivered in one take like that. Um, so it really great, and I had the tension builds, and the film changes gears and everything. But I thought he did a lovely job, and it's a great performance. Did you always have him in mind for the role, or did you have a few
Oh
different options with
yes.
someone you worked with?
Uh, as I told you, I work as a musician, so uh, it's
Right,
I've done a lot of things with non-professional actors. So you have, as you know very well, you have to find all kinds of tricks and gimmicks to get a performance. With this guy in particular, Adrian Luz, it was so easy because he's like a virtuoso piano player. He doesn't miss one note.
right,
He
yeah,
doesn't actually. We only missed one take because of him because he forgot to take off his mask. That's the only take we missed. We had to stop because of him. But
for COVID, you'd a mask, right? Of course.
of course, so he was suddenly. I said,
Uh,
"He's wearing a mask." So okay, let's go
uh,
back.
uh, uh,
And tension-wise, as you know, uh, when we're doing like a one shot, like we're all holding hands to see if the camera doesn't bump into anything at minute 15.
right,
So we're
yeah,
just like
yeah.
the tension is on screen and it's in front
Mm.
of the monitor. We were sweating.
Great. And is it all actually one shot, or is it just designed to look like one shot? Do you have any sneaky joins in there, or is it all actually one take?
We did shoot it in one take, but we found a trick to be able to move between takes.
Right. And how do you
Uh,
like when you're going behind a chair or something like that? Is it, or were you able
no,
to?
actually,
I didn't notice it. I thought it was. I thought. I mean, to me, it felt like all one take there.
we used the scene in which he moves away from the table and we go to the screen. That's when we switched.
Ah, okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So you can once you can feel the yeah. Well, anyway, it's really great. No, but I think it's a great example of a film that really does work. And is heightened because it's one take. It kind of
The,
it really.
Actually, the best compliment I heard for this short film was a guy that has a film festival, big film festival here in Portugal called Motelex. They selected the film, and he told me he didn't realize it was a one shot. I was
Oh,
talking to
right,
him
that he
about the
wasn't
film.
even aware, right? Because it actually took me a while to notice as well. I was watching it and I was just interested in it. I was like, hang on, there hasn't been a cut, like, and I was like, wow. And then it's, you know, it's really breathtaking, you know, as the film goes on. And but you get so involved in the story and what's going on and the pressure that this character is put under. You kind of forget about it all, which is great. You know, like it's not obviously just one shot. You know, but it does. I think it does add to it. Like it's kind of, you know, just this tension, which is kind of, you know, gradually getting more and more intense as we go along.
Course.
Um,
So
so
I was able to talk a lot to the actor about the character, and that's the first
hmm,
time I actually had the time, to work with an actor for real and to discuss the
hmm.
character and have sometimes different views on the character. So it was beautiful. Actually, I've been doing a lot of film stuff, but this was the only time I really had fun, which is almost a contradiction because the
Hmm.
subject matter is very serious, but it was a very creative moment. Those are so rare, like we live our lives waiting for that moment when you're doing exactly what you want to do, and this was the first time that I actually felt that in on location.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so his performance is great, Adriano's performance, but a lot of it is, you know, responding to what he's hearing on the phone.
Mhm.
So I was wondering, how did you, when you were shooting that, did you have actors there reading in those lines for him to respond to, or were you just kind of giving him the deadlines? Because you know, a lot of it is kind of in response to the performances on the phone, which are also great performances, even though we're just hearing
Yes,
the audio of it. You know, you can hear the emotion in the you know the main character he's talking to on the phone, who calls, is it Raul, I think is the name, you know.
exactly.
So did you have that actor there on set to read those lines, or were you playing in those lines, or how did you do that?
Vincent, I'm very happy that you asked this because I actually told the production crew that I didn't want to be a diva, but I was going to have one request, which would be to have the other actors on set doing a live take. So we had one set, and we on another room on that same set where they couldn't hear each other. I
Right.
had everybody there, and they were
So you had them
waiting.
all there, right? Okay,
Yeah, they
great.
were all
Well,
there, and we even built a small living room, so they could act together,
right,
make that
great.
family. So,
Because
so
yeah,
that's
I think it would have been very difficult otherwise, like to get that you know, natural you know, response to what they're saying. You know, if you were just playing it on a tape, or trying to time it, or even if it was just somebody feeding the lines, you know, without the emotion, you know, but it worked very well. It's, you know, and it really it really helps the whole tension and the build up of it, you
oh,
know, and
and
you know,
I can tell you one funny fact about Raul. The
yeah,
actor who plays Raul, we have a big epic poem from the Portuguese literature from a poet called Camões. It would be kind of our Homer, let's say. And he has a giant poem. I mean, it's a big book. And this actor, the first time I heard about him, he actually had a performance in which he recited the whole book for 8 hours.
right,
He's an extraordinary actor, and he also
wow.
has this insane side. But he did memorize the whole book, and it was just amazing to see how much text that man has on his head. It's like
Wow,
giant
incredible.
hard drive.
Yeah, yeah. I got you. Yeah. And was it the dialogue, was it quite rigid, or did you improvise that at all, or was that all scripted, like everything, there? Did you workshop it, or was that pretty much all in the script from
Mm.
from the start?
Well, I wish I could say it was a lot improvising, but actually no, it's word
Right.
by word. But it's not something that I'm especially proud of. I love improvisation and I love to work
Mm.
the text, but I think you need time. So that very fine balance between having time and having to work. I just we had 2 days to shoot, to
Right.
rehearse and shoot, so there wasn't much improvisation involved.
No,
I
well, it feels very natural and real, which that's why I asked. Um, so you only had 2 days. Did you rehearse or anything before they came on set with the actors or even with the camera crew, like
we
to
had
get one take?
we had like 1 day of rehearsals, 1 day of shooting. Uh,
Right.
that was it. But I did work the text with them in advance. We did a table read, and it was very very special for me because I'm not very, as I told you, like 85% of my life is working as a musician in front of the computer or the piano, writing music. So seeing characters come to life is something that always fascinates me because it's
Hmm.
not common to me. It's
So
probably the same as a film director uh, listening to a piece of music he did it himself. It's something that he loves, but it's not his usual.
right, yeah. So you said it was a 2 day shoot, right? But it's all. I mean, if it's all one take, right? Was day one really kind of like a rehearsal, and then did you get the take on day two? Because really, like you wanted just to boil down to that. Is it a 22-minute take? I think, isn't it? Right.
We did 36 takes.
36 takes. I was going to ask you how many takes you did. Right. But
36.
it's about 22 minutes long, I think. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so you did 36 takes. But I guess it took a long time to get it right. Yeah, I mean, it must have been incredibly frustrating if you're getting
Yeah.
towards the end of one and everything's right apart from one bump note, right?
Of course, of course. That's like whenever I look at the dailies, I always find something. Oh, that was it. Like. But,
Right.
but but I think this one, as it is pretty much what I had in mind. If it's good or not, I don't know. But it's what we planned.
And are they all very similar? Like, was the camera kind of hitting certain marks for certain lines every
Mhm.
time, or did you
Yes.
change that up a bit? Or
No, no. As far as the technical part,
Hmm.
it was very similar. I'm guessing the great nuances are with the actors. Like
Right. Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
magical part. Because in one take we had an extraordinary performance that we had to drop because some other performance wasn't as good. So
Were your camera crew rehearsing that with a stand-in or something before you came on set to shoot it? How much time did you spend doing that with them, like to get that sort of rehearsal?
well, we don't have as we don't have that many directors of photography, uh, and this guy is very good. That means he's working all the time.
Hmm.
He's shooting every single day. So I didn't have a lot of time with him. I went with my friends to that cold set, and we just rehearsed. And I did a small, like a demo, like, it's in order to show the DOP what I had in mind, and then he could worry more about the lights. But it was choreographed by myself and my
Right.
good
Well,
friends.
well done. It's a real achievement. I think it's great. Yeah. Really, really powerful. And like, so where are you now in your film festival run? Has it been screening at festivals for a long time, or have you just started?
No, no, it's we've been at it for a while. It's we were fortunate enough to have it selected to a few good ones. Especially there's one that means a lot to me, which is the award for the best Portuguese short from the Portuguese Film Academy, which is, you know, very good for me because it's my peers. You know, I
Great.
always
Yeah.
they always told
Was
me,
that your Oscar qualifying award was there? Is that right?
yeah, well, we were at Curtas Vila do Conde, which is also
Oh yeah.
Portuguese,
Great.
but so, but you know, it's always the festival circuit. It's always a lottery, right? So I hope.
Yeah. And what's the audience reaction to it when it plays at festivals?
Well, it's insane because
Yeah.
you know at the beginning when there's voices of the callers previous to Raul, I used a lot of comedy actors which are known voices. So I wonder for how it works for a foreign audience, because I know for a Portuguese audience at the beginning they think they're going to watch a comedy, so it's twice as shocking.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It does kind of nosedive into the drama at one point, but it's very well set up. I think it's really well constructed. You know, like with the gear changes, how and then it just grabs you and I mean I honestly couldn't take my eyes off it. I couldn't breathe. I was like, well, no, you know, you can't stop watching it. And it's a real credit to you as a filmmaker and the film and the writing of it. It's yes, it's really a powerful film, you know. So what would it mean to you to make the short list? Like 15 films are going to make the short list, and I think this has an excellent chance of
well,
getting there. But,
you've been through it, so it's
you're
you've been
right.
through all this
And it,
process, so you know how insane it
hmm.
is. For I mean, you know
Well,
it in
yeah,
your
it's very
skin.
hard. It's very hard to make that short list of 15 films. Um, but
Yeah,
uh,
I
but
can tell
I think
you,
it's a
I
really
can,
strong film. I,
you
I
know,
think you know you've got great potential to do it. So I'll be rooting for you every step of the way, and you know I hope to see it there.
oh man, it would
So
be insane
Felipe,
because
yeah, just go ahead. What were you going to
oh no
say?
no, I was gonna tell you that you know like I I'm a professional musician, but my heart is in film, so I watch way too many films and
Right. Wait, did you
every
do the score for this? Out of
yeah.
curiosity? Did
I,
you? Oh wow! I think it's great. I think the score really
I
adds a
used
lot to it. That mood,
a
that kind of
lot of old synths, you know, like
right.
a wall of synthesizers that a neighbor of
Yeah,
mine has. So I went across the street and used all of those. It's
right.
incredible.
I
But
thought
I was
it was excellent. Yeah, everything about it. Yeah, really polished. You know, it's a beautifully made film, and it has a really powerful impact. So you know, best of luck. You know, with the rest of its festival journey. But you know, mainly, my fingers are crossed for you. Yeah, for the Oscar shortlist. Hopefully, I'll be chatting to you again, and hopefully, we'll
can
see
you
it there.
imagine? It would be
Felipe.
great.
Thanks so much for chatting with me, Felipe.
Thank you
It's
so much,
really
Vincent.
nice. Take
Really
care.
nice
All
to
the
meet you.
best.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.